Okay, finishing up a couple quick ones. I just can't get over that. Steve raced on beer cans on Prima Donna, and then, but he usually only did the port-to-port races or the long-distance races. And beer cans on Foley on Wednesday nights. And for whatever reason, he'd be one of those where, how do you say that, the cool guy and then the darky guy? And for this scene, I'll play the darky guy and Steve will play the cool guy. But this guy was so funny. I just like goof off. And this guy would kind of look at me like, you don't get it, but you're going to get it someday, but you won't. And I'll just kind of, watch it as you kind of, we're going to let you, we'll show you what cool is, but you're just not ready. You can't handle cool. Some people can't handle the truth. Some people can't handle cool. So, and Steve, I don't know, we'd be at say the Mac, and he'd be over here at the party, and I'd be over here, and then we just cross paths, and he goes, well, how are things going? I'm good, how about you? And then he just like there pause, and he goes, well, tell me about this stupid thing you've done, because I know you, and you've got to have something. I go, well, you know what? I'm the way over here. And he just sit there and look at me. He's like, tell your story. And I'll be patient with your darky little stories, but you're just not ready for this cool stuff. And you just go on. But he called me up to go see North Mississippi All-Stars and L.R. Burnside. I go, absolutely, because he was a blues guy. I mean, I was not a pretend blues guy. I like the blues. This guy, is the blues kind of thing. Because he knew all the bands where they're playing and the band. I mean, this guy knew his stuff. And I want to say Diane. I just made some spinach casserole. Diane. Steve and Diane. I'm pretty sure it's Diane. I'll put money on Diane. And they had a baby a year after they got married. Anyway, so I saw him the following year after Mick and I had our thing. And he goes, so, tell me what's going on with you these days. And he knew, but it's like, I want to hear your side of the story. Because the following year I did this one more time. That's when I saw Corley. But the following year, he was one of maybe 3 or 4 guys I wanted to pull aside and say, look, there was an incident last November that you guys, and he goes, yeah? Because I think Larry told him. Because Larry was heavily involved with that weekend, Thanksgiving '07. But he goes, so what happened? And I told him, and he goes, so what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. I'm going out skiing in California with Regardless people, and there's a boat Regardless. And he goes, all right, well, keep in touch, but sounds kind of weird. I go, yeah, I know, but I'm telling all these guys before Thanksgiving how great my life is. I got this new job, and the sailing season was winding up, and I was the scorer for the offshore fleet in Chicago that year. And so I went to all the, in fact, one of the reasons I got the job was because I did all the races. So I was known as the scorer and that face that had been in racing in Chicago for 25 years. So my face was very familiar, put it that way. Not known. That's the guy that dances goofy at parties and stuff and falls asleep. Yeah, so I'm telling all these guys months earlier about how great my life is, and now I got to come back and tell all these guys that, yeah, Mick and I are no more, and Mick's with this guy, and so he's kind of like, okay, sounds kind of weird, but good luck to you. That was the last time I ever saw him. Oh, man, he had the perfect hair, but this guy just wore ease. Does that make sense? The guy was just at ease. He wasn't cocky, he wasn't arrogant, he was just at ease. Like, he knew the bigger picture in life. And he just looked at me and goes, you don't get it. You will, I can tell. One day you will. But you just don't get it. I'm like, oh, come on. Don't, let's do. But I don't think I ever called him up for that very reason. I didn't want to bust into his world. But he invited me. And the other quick story is, so he had a place over in Michigan City. And his family, either he got through his family or something. When I was looking for work to do, that I took a train over. No, he drove me over, and I took a train back. But he drove me over to his place, and I did drywall work for a week at his place. No power. And then the regular drywall team, I was a laborer for them, carrying in 12-foot sheets of drywall. I wonder why your neck gave out. But yeah, doing stuff at his place for $6 an hour or something. I mean, I don't fault this guy at all. He goes, I'll help you out. And yeah, stayed at his place for a week by myself and no power. Well, there might be a little power, but no. What was so rustic? I want to say there's no power, but that couldn't have been with the workers there. I don't know, it was rustic because I was working around in the dark and stuff. I don't know. I don't know the details, but so anyway. Oh my God. In fact, he lived right on the Eastern time zone and the West or the Midwest time zone, because we could walk across the street at his place and see his phone change. You could probably find it now, but okay, we're done. But that's funny. Oh my gosh! All right, we're going back. Wow, that was a fun little road trip. All that started from Dr. Corley in the 911 Commission reports and talking about coworkers and what they know and not know. And all right, so I'm just going to keep rolling with this because, man, talk about synapse kicking in. Found a picture of Steve. Oh, everything's good. See when you're in sync with the big guy? Okay. Structure can achieve free fall acceleration, so we kind of covered that. Building 7. Kind of free falling. Tom Petty. There's probably a deeper meaning with free falling that I don't know. Yeah. So my big thing was scientific fact. Gotta have scientific fact. Prior to 2001, no structural steel building had ever collapsed due to fire. True. Airspace over D.C. had never been breached by hostile forces. True. Commercial airplanes hadn't been used in actuality as weapons. True. But they're written in reports like the Norwoods report. And the Kardashians and Paris Hilton were flying under the radar public. See, this is where I know that the way I write now is there's no way I'd write that. I would have done that. I can even date my own material that there'd be no way I'd write and. I'm not going to change it because that would alter things. But I guess I could change things and then show it as I hold the microphone under my chin. On September 11th, 2001, according to the official record, 3 steel frame buildings collapsed due to normal fire damage. That's what they say. Airspace over the Pentagon was breached due to a commercial flight. Say that's true. Even though it had been reported missing for 80 minutes. Oh. 4, see, again. Well, I wrote 4 if there's... Anyway. Commercial flights were hijacked by 19 individuals. That's true. 2.3 trillion lotto winner was unbeknownst by the U.S. public. You know, the people that made out on that, and it doesn't take long to kind of figure out who, but military contracts, there's a good start. John O'Neill. Now, I don't know if this guy's straight up or not, but the fact is, he was an American counterterrorism expert at the FBI, special agent in charge of investigating the USS Colon Embassy bombings in Kenya, true, an ally of Ali Soufan. Do your homework. Do your homework. Because I don't remember. Or do I? He was in conflict with the CIA over bin Laden family in his investigation of Osama bin Laden. Yeah. The official narrative is. And extremely close to preventing the events of 9/11 had he received cooperation from the CIA. I think that's true. The official record says it is true. But sometimes the bad guys, they'll stick in a bad guy to act like the good guy, then he's a bad guy. So I don't know. But I'm going to go with he's a good guy. And victim of circumstances. Then yeah, he was killed September 11th. Something fishy going on. After September 11th, military operations began after. True. Halliburton Blackwater, here's the money. Show me the money. Reality Place game show. Yeah, wasn't that weird? We had reality shows go on right after this. So there's a deeper MK Ultra going on than I know about. But all of a sudden now we've got reality TV shows coming on. And the game show genre. Right after this, so, they had the script, but their little connections with the bad guy, Satan, is, they know what to do. Not that they know the future, but they know what's good. Look into the fallen angels in Book of Enoch and the Watchers and the dirty dudes that 200 of them came down and told everyone all the secrets of heaven and what to do and how to do it and the astrology and meteorology and metallurgy and all these things. And so, yeah, that's when the dark sciences came in, the little Watchers. Whew, not going to do it. Book of Enoch, people. Habeas corpus. Yep. And if I knew what that meant, I'd say... Moving on. Carlisle... Oh, I forgot about them. Look into the Carlisle group. Oh, the Carlisle group had Bin Laden. I'd probably say that later on. But yeah, billion reported assets. Reported assets. Meaning... times 2, 4, 8. Ugh. Only about 900 employees. So you do the math. Averages about 167 million in assets per employee. Well, there's the math. It assumes most uninformed people are stupid. Well, draw your conclusions. Oh, here we go. I probably say it. Yep. American-based global blah, 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 blah. Occupying offices in 20 countries. This is the defense firm tied with Bushy. That meeting with members of the Bin Laden family in D.C. So, Daddy Bush doesn't remember where he was this day, and he doesn't remember where he was when Kennedy was assassinated. Wow. Well, actually, he admitted to this, but anyway. Carlisle Group was celebrating. So again, part of the equation for levity, always be unpredictable. Anyway, 175 was assumed to hit the south tire. Reported missing 10 minutes into the flight over the Atlantic Ocean. So you're going to tell me that a flight disappears and takes 10 minutes to realize? No, because Mr. I knew an air traffic controller told me how these little things work. And I'm not going to shame myself because I probably don't remember most of it, but if a plane goes missing, within minutes, there's a scramble. What is going on? Who picked up my flight? Who got my flight? And you hear someone in the back room, I got it, don't worry. And it's like, you talk about a higher, and Joe was so cool. And that's what she did. Oh, she's cool. She is cool. Anyway. September 11th, 2001, Flight 93 was registered to 7 assumed to crash in the Pennsylvania wheat field. Seen in Cleveland and then Chicago hours after reported missing. Look into it. We can look into it in a second. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but let's see what Google says with just that information. Oh, so cold. That was miserable. Oh, that was... And they're saying plane spotters. Alright, I don't need to do it. I'm trying to do a live search and show you how easy it is, but hold on. I know I'm going a little off topic, but when I freaked out and realized that I mean, I proved to myself, I probably spent 200 hours. Whoops. After 200 hours of looking into it myself, I saw this, and I go, because that's a thing that's on the bottom of military planes, and I saw that, and I go, no, it wasn't a United flight. That was kind of my tipping point, and then it's like, well, no planes. So, you'll get there eventually. Once you dissect the picture, it's just like, okay. But that guy was I went around Pentwater doing something else that day, or doing other work, but I had to it was over the holidays. And I had to I walked around and just stunned when it really sank in what was going on. Oh, man. I'm not going to go deep into that, but yeah, there's a picture on the internet with the plane, and you can tell, but that was faked. Yeah, whatever. Do your own investigation. This is the telltale. If you can go to the DC and find any type of remnants of a plane crashing into the Pentagon, God bless you. And the same with the Indiana or the Pennsylvania weed field. Good luck. And we're just, okay, I'm just going to get toward the end. Thank God. He's just going on and on. But yeah, looking at these, it's so ridiculous what it's not so much it's not so much the crime, it's the cover-up. Well, an event like 9/11, it's before, during, and after that's absolutely atrocious. So, but the official records about the file, what do they call it, the CV or something for the flight recorder data, had these incredible maneuvers, meaning it was faked. But all these things that allegedly the plane was being maneuvered to do that even a tested pilot said they'd have a hard time doing, and some knucklehead from a foreign country, not to be specific, was piloting it's just so absurd. It's amazing. Oh, we covered it. The whole thing with Dick Cheney saying he's in the front yard picking up scraps of plane when people disappeared. Where did the people go? And they did nuclear DNA tests and had results of everything within days. Oh, the whole DNA thing is all joke. It's so bad. But you're not going to listen to me? Ooh. Immediately after the Northwood Reports became a Hollywood screenplay. Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell I'm burning out. It's all here, people. Times that. We're just going to do screenshots. Yep. That's Granddaddy Bush. Bohemian. I wish I had the thing to jump ahead. Wait, Bohemian Grove? If you don't know about that, check into that. Cleared. Oop. Oh, I mean, now all the rescue guys are dying or have died, and the EPA says they did, tests and everything's fine. Well, apparently they only did 3, and it was right at the beginning, and it was outside of where there was any blowback going on, and all the guys dying. If anyone that looks into this, if you don't feel nauseous with how corrupt the government is, with how corrupt the world's become because of Satan, then you've got what's coming to you. And the fact that you're watching this now is now you know, and the clock is ticking. What are you going to do? So you're better off not seeing this video. Shut it off. Because the more you know, the more you're going to be responsible for. Mark those words. Woof. Anyway, let's just keep going. I'm just going to throw these up. You can stop. And, yep, there it is. And that. Yep, haha. Can I do page down? I can't. Anyway. Yep. Well, I'm going to save this. There's still a lot more to go. I thought it was almost done. But, okay, yeah, it's too much. We'll do this some other time, but yeah. So I'm here. Let's see where I am in the big picture. Oh my God. No. Oh, we're only here. I'm sorry. There's all that to go. Oh, I looked over and I thought I was done. I'm sorry. We're done. But yeah, there are reasons to look into this. I'll be back. Okay, the proverbial good news, bad news is everyone's been waiting for. I forgot it already. I tried to find my 9/11 truth files. I said way long ago that I've gone through 2 or 3 massive purges in life. Gotten rid of photos and files. Not that I'm hiding anything. I just get fed up with all this effort going nowhere. However, I tend to make so many different copies of things that the bad for me is that, you know, it's like putting out little brush fires. You know the scene where the guy's spinning plates on Bozo Circus? Gotta use the visual aids. But that's how I feel like. It's like I just want to get rid of all my little, I just want to quit spinning plates for a living. So, but then it's like, no, I got to keep it going. So you go back and you think I quit that project. It's like, no, keep that spinning. And oh, that one's wobbling over here. I got to keep that spinning. And so that's kind of like it is with, you know, all these files. Like, do I get rid of them? Do I keep them going? And so, yeah, I'm... That's 9/11 Truth. We got the posters. We've got At Times the Lives of the Pits. We've got Oh God, You Gotta Laugh. Houston Pictures, Stage Inc. Racing posters. So I've got all these things like, I just want to quit. No. Keep it going. Keep it going. Oh my gosh. It was like, y'all remember that little thing? That's how life is. But I've got the, you know, I can't complain. Honestly, God, I cannot complain because it's not a child that doesn't love me anymore and I'm trying to get him connected. Oh, it's a wife that's leaving me and I don't know what to do. And oh, it's a job I can't hold on to. And so my little plate spinning is just a joke. I get it, but it's the only life I have. I get it that there's people with way more going on, but the bottom line is you come to faith and God will keep these things spinning without you. He'll find a way. You think it's impossible? No. It's the challenges He loves to show you He's there. The more you try and keep them spinning, they're going to crash. And then it's like, oh, why didn't I keep that one spinning before this one fell? And then that one falls. And it's like, no, God loves that. He will miraculously, not to him, but to you, it'll be miraculous to keep it going. A letter from Jill in 3 weeks before I moved, that's the plate that kept spinning. So, you know, 3 weeks later, that would have been no part of my life. Had I not been there when that letter went to Marathon, it would have never found, and I can tell you, there would be huge chunks of my book. But I kept it spinning after he said, hey, look over there, your plate's falling. And instead of me going, you know, if you want it to keep going, you take care of it because I've got my knees and, you know, all these other things, he would have done it. He would have done it. But I tried to do it. So I was this guy. It's like, oh, I'm cool now and I've got all these things going. No. It doesn't work that way. So I'd be this guy. It's like, oh, if I keep it spinning right here, it'll be fine. Oh. But I just hope someone benefits. My goofy life, one way or another, is for other people to just realize bigger picture, folks. You know, that job, it's going to happen sooner than we know. I know there's a million people saying, oh, the end of the world. Well, it is. It just is. Okay? So get over the fact that you think you are where you are because of you. Because you I don't want to pick on this guy. He's probably a cool guy. He's probably an accountant that got a gig on Bozo Circus, and he goes, I'm going to impress that little girl. And it's like, if I keep it spinning right here, that they're going to like me. Nah. Anyway, I don't want to pick on this guy. What's this chick doing? Oh, there you go. There's a career choice. This kid's going, Dad, it ain't a monster truck show, but I'll do this. If I can play Little League next summer, I'll go to your little circus thing. Anyway. See, that's an inside joke only to those who have sat through 590 hours of tapes already. But that's okay. See, I'm this guy. And then it's like, wait a minute. If I don't move, it won't fall. And then it stays there. And it's like, okay. Because what I didn't realize was when we got to this point on the landing, she ran out of gas, and we sat there for probably 10 minutes. And so the plane quit, we're out of gas, and we're hovering right there. And I was given a chance to say, Jill, you know what? Kind of think you're cool. Let's go out to dinner tonight and grab a pizza. But you know what? After 10 minutes, I'm all worried about, what's going on? And okay. It was funny for a second, and then it just kind of tailed off. But as, kind of the segue with the spinning plates. Okay. This might be a longer... I just put on a pot of tea, and we're ready to rock tonight. Anyway, hold on. All right, what I was getting at when I was looking for those 9/11 truth files, I have one computer left. And again, it's one of those that if he wants it to be shown or he wants them to be there, they'll probably be somewhere. And so, sure enough, I go through all the little flash drives, nothing. It's like, I know I deleted the newspaper mailing addresses, but I thought, maybe I have a backup. And it turns out it's almost exactly reminiscent of when I was applying for Social Security disability, that I didn't have the surgical reports and the direct evidence, but I had the secondary things, like the little hospital bills, blood tests, and things like that. So I found the remnant files of 9/11 Truth, which will probably be as important as the others. But to give you an idea of the mailing addresses, so this was for the flat earth stuff, where I wrote all the astronomy and physics departments. So I still have all those. And this is part one of many. But I had the same thing with the 9/11 Truth mailers. But to give you an idea of this, so these were all the mailers that went out for physics departments. That's part one of, I think, 3. But I'm not going to get it, but you get the idea. That's what I was looking for all the physics department, or the civil engineering departments for the 9/11 Truth stuff. Oh, and I was taping over all that. Oh, I got to be careful. Hold on. Oh, I'm finding all this stuff. It's amazing. All right. So I do have the letters that I wrote the FBI. And I know I'm jumping around, but maybe it keeps it interesting. I don't know. Does it really need a chronological order at this point? So this was the beginning when I got all these things, and I don't even know what the date is. Oh, this is astounding. Not to you. Not to you. I get that. So these were my jobs. These were my high-profile litigation jobs. This isn't important, right? But all these are Corley, not Corley, not Corley, not Corley, Corley, not Corley, that, not Corley, not Corley, 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 not Corley. It's like, I wrote the guy's coattails. Well, what is it, 3 or 4? But they were big. I mean, they were the high profile. I didn't even like name dropping, but I put the Waco thing probably last because it sounded like name dropping. I didn't put it on here. Oh, Department of Justice. Yeah, I put it at the end. I kind of masked it with Department of Justice stuff. But yeah, this was Branch Davidian. And it was so non-technical. It was silly. But, yeah, because again, it's like, oh, I worked on it, but yeah, I worked on it. It's kind of not shameful, but non-technical. Weird to see if when they ran over the front of the building before the fire broke out. I'm not even going to speculate on who started the fire anymore because no doubt that we were spoon-felt, handheld our way through what we were given. So I can't make any judgment on what I think went on, but everyone's seen the pictures of the little personnel tanks bulldozing the front. CTL was hired to see if that blocked enough of the pathway for all the people who were upstairs in the attic or the upstairs, and if when they bulldozed the front, if that blocked the path for people to get out. And I mean, I don't want to even go into it, but that was how non-technical our investigation was. But I bet you I put 500 hours into that job. You can read what, I mean, but this isn't here for now. But the letter that I'm looking for is to the FBI. And this is astounding. I'm not going to go into the details of this because I know this was a goofy letter. But here's who I wrote it to. Boom, 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 Detroit. Boom, 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 Chicago. And then Feiger. That's Jeffrey Feiger. That goofball. But I sent them a check for $1,000 saying, look, this is my case. Here's all the files. You guys tell me for $1,000 what I could have, should have, or would have done had I known what to do. God, I was a little upset. But BGS submittal events, I am going to go into it. I don't want to, but attached under 3 separate covers to respective agencies and law firm, please find 2 bound notebooks of documents related to the subject matter. So anyway, I don't want to this deserves its own little thing, but I found this. It was like I couldn't find it under the other, but yep. June 6th, 2012, and that's where I knew I went over the edge of crazy. But I didn't care. You think I cared if the FBI came knocking on the door saying, what the hell is going on here? I don't care. But that's how desperate I was. But I go in here about, the little background and what's the next page? Blah, 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 blah. Check number 6122 because I had a checking account all made up under Iceberg Industries. And yeah, I know how the correction is, but I told everyone, it's the Irish way of spelling iceberg. And I had 2 little dots saying that's official. But anyway, and that's the logo. Remember I showed earlier? This is how... I had no idea I'd find this. I didn't think I had any Iceberg Industries. Check that out real quick. This is kind of cool. Whoa. Get woozy there? But I had checked 6122. That's the sale number for Rebound. And all my IDs and PIN numbers. But yeah. They sent it back to me and said, you know what? We'll just pass. But I want to read this letter in another video and just tell you how desperate when crazy gets. But this is my logo. Building us a better tomorrow today. Anyway, but then the logo. Oh, can we zoom in? Surely. So remember that iceberg I showed you earlier? Well, guess what that is? Well, it's a takeoff on it, but it's actually... Oh, these files. But the little outline of the iceberg is, guess what? I thought it was funny. Anyway, so yeah, that's the length I'd go to and things. But the thing is, it's funny or ha-ha, that's what Satan does. He puts it right out in front of you, and his little ha-has are a little bit more dangerous, though. But that's the length I go to, and he does the same thing. That's why I was like, if I had Well, I do have an evil mind. We all have evil minds. It's whether or not you act on it. Going into the original shoes. Where? Anyway, yeah. So I found all these. Oh, God. I went over that yesterday. Or no, a couple days ago. I don't know. I just found this. So yeah, little scraps are starting to reveal. But this is, wow. So I got the FBI stuff. See, I wasn't going to talk about it if I didn't have it. Because people can make anything up. So going back to the resume, there wasn't a whole lot of Corley, but they were the big ones. They were the big ones. But what else do I have in here? Oh, that's not the original police reports. Who cares? This whole thing, Hell Stage Demo Frog? Those were all the families when I started sending them letters. Oh, this is crazy. And I registered this as a business. So that's last name of sister-in-law, mine, in-laws. And I had a company made. I gotta see what the logo was. Man, I was into this. Because at this point, I was going to make it a funny story. Yeah, for each 500 oh, it's only 500 newspapers. Here's where it is. So here's the actual number. 500 campus newspapers. And I'll tell you why I had inflated numbers, because this was nothing when I got flat earth stuff going. Because there I was sending 2,000 per mailing. So anyway. So ASCE, Chi Epsilon, we're 880. Okay. Alright. But anyway, yeah. Okay, we got that. But yeah, here's Van Richards and Lynn Richards and brother-in-law and Carolyn's old friend and Michigan Department of Community Health, and there's my aunt. Attorney Review and Disciplinary Committee, Illinois, the detective. This is Jane's new husband, boyfriend, who really railed me over stuff, and I called him Pluto. Our friend Ronan Shimoni and Ken Lawson. I got him in twice. I think that was a mistake or something. Then I have the guest of the month. So I went crazy on stuff. But it's funny. Then I see, this is when I start swearing. It's like, you know what, guys? Come after me. And they finally did, but kind of like Felicetti coming after me, were not what they should have, but what they kind of made up. So anyway, so yeah, I was getting belligerent. Oh, it was bad, guys. Oh, so I'd do this and write draft. Say, you can't really get me because I wrote draft on there. Oh, wait till I tell you about the conversation I had with the assistant DA in Oceana County. Because just because you think you're so cute with the writing draft on there, and even though you didn't send it, blah, 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 we can use this in the course of the law, and la, 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 la. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So, yeah, it's coming up 6 years ago. God, that seems like forever. But then it seems like yesterday. Anyway, let's see what else we got in here real quick. So that. Oh, and we kept sending them out. This is another one. Oh, my God. So I sent it out. Crazy got crazy. So then I'm going under the state's attorney's office, sent them a package. State's attorney's office in Lansing, Detroit, did the same, because I'm going after people in 2 states. The crime happened in Michigan, but the people are Illinois. Do I know where it gets filed? No. So I cover Michigan, cover Illinois. Figure I got all bases covered. Crazy got crazy. Crazy got crazy. Then I found the old Fido guys. It's like, well, I have a drawing of this, but that doesn't tell you much. So now I can show you this, and then I can go back and show you the drawing. Oh, it's amazing how it all works out. So these were the guys. I don't need to go through all this, but Dave Seegren. He was the other CE in the class, or in the house. And he's no longer. He died young. Real young. but he's a baseball player, and he kept coming to me because it was one of these where he knew I knew my stuff, but he did better on tests than me. Go figure. He didn't cheat. I'm not saying he cheated or anything, but he just stayed calm, and I lost my mind. But he always came after me for my homework and stuff. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, great guy. Teal's a great guy. Goldie, he's a hockey player. Goldsmith. Schwartzy, got a whole thing about him. There's, well, Rick Hayes. He was in my wedding. I was in his wedding. And it all just kind of fell apart. Good friends with Jane, I guess. So I hear. I don't know. Tom Kaysen. But there are a lot of guys missing. Bill Heston. Okay, Mr. Cool. We'll get you. He's the co-owner of Harry's. Yeah, there are a lot. Bo. There are a lot of guys missing in this. This was my pledge son. What a goofball. But, yeah, Monty. There are a lot of guys missing from this photo. Dan Klenkart. I mean, I don't know why. 80. This was. I don't know what it was. But it's irrelevant. Let's just move on. And then this was letter to the attorney. This was the Michigan attorney. (2008). Oh, this is when they fired me. They just, because I fell apart after everything, and the money, I gave them the money up front for the services, the license restoration, but then everything fell apart, so they ended up sending me the check back. I'll read this later, but I'm just kind of showing that we've just starting to uncover stuff that I thought was lost. Okay, we covered all that. All right, hold on. Okay, this was the part I had taped over. Or, I mean, I didn't push record. But with the discs I sent out to all the civil engineering departments and faculty and Chi Epsilon, that with the disc I'd have the little cover sheet saying what's included. And these were all the backup documents that I sent with all the mailings. And again, I kind of like, I'm putting your nose into it, but you got to do your own homework. Kind of spelled it out for them. And, yeah, this, I'm not sure who these were, but I see this name, and I think some of the, oh, okay, couple of the 19 hijackers, alleged hijackers, that within a week, 7 of them were seen alive. And, you know, half of them were saying, it wasn't me. I hear all these things going on, but it wasn't me. It's like, oh, God, the gumption? That's not even the word, but for those people thinking that they were going to get away with it. But it took me, what, I started learning about this 10 years after it happened. Oh, my God. All right, I got to wrap this up, and we'll see you back in a second.